they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go. I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. Let's go. You know what time it is. It's time for Talented Thursdays. And I'm your girl, Kimberly Eichelle. Welcome in another week. You all know that I say it week after week, but for real, I am excited about tonight because I have such a special guest and she's going to be a blessing. So let me tell you, if you want to learn about entertainment, if you want to hear some great stories, if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, my sister's here tonight and it's going to be good. So go ahead and share, like, subscribe. Let everyone know that Talented Thursdays is on. I have my mentor, Charlene Carla, in the building. She said, greetings from Florida. Greetings, Queen. Thank you for coming in tonight. And to each of you that are checking in, remember, if you want to comment, go ahead and get on Facebook or either Talented Television on YouTube, and you'll be able to comment live tonight. You may have some questions. I'm telling you, my guest is amazing. She's amazing. Okay. So I hope you all are having a great week. It's been a great week for me. It's actually been a busy week, one of the busiest weeks that I've had in a very long time, but it's Thursday. So it doesn't matter. We're going to get started. Okay. Because I don't want to run out of time. So here we go. Make sure again that you are pressing that like button and subscribe. All right. So I'm going to jump into the bio. Hello, Saunders Familia. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. Here we go, you all. Tonight's guest is simply amazing. And I'm not just saying that because we're both named Kimberly Bailey. No, she truly has a heart of gold and a drive that is both uplifting and inspiring. She is the daughter of Las Vegas legends Bob and Anna Bailey and carried the torch that they lit long ago in being instrumental to the development of both artists and entrepreneurs alike. Kimberly's achievements are as big as her generosity in giving back. She has worked alongside celebrities such as Spike Lee, Barry White, Atlantic Star, Earth, Wind and Fire, BB and CeCe Winans, and so many more. She also helped establish the micro business program under the direction of the Economic Opportunity Board, which helped assist over 932 minority businesses before it dissolved, you all. She has the longest running talk show, Enterprising People, on Las Vegas's own KCEP Power 88, and is the owner of Culturally Diverse Advertising / Media Relations and Events, LLC, alongside her husband and partner, Charles Tureaud. They also own and publish Las Vegas Black Image magazine. If you ain't picked it up, make sure you pick up your copy. And together they have done so much more, you all. So keep listening in on this interview. I am honored and proud to have none other than my sister from another Mr. Miss Kimberly Bailey up next on Talented Thursdays. Keep watching, y'all.
I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side if you feel alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Y'all know how we do. Let's give her a drum roll. Come on. Give it up for my sister, Miss Kimberly Bailey Tureaud. Hello, Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. That was really nice.
Oh, absolutely. Look, and it's all true. It's all you, right?
Well, yeah, it is. I just need to update it. It's a lot of stuff that goes on, in a life span of a life. Yeah.
Yes, there is, and that's why I said there is so much more to your history, to your currents. There's so much that you've done. But before we jump in, Kimberly, I want you to rep your city, okay? Tell the viewers where you hail from and
Okay.
what's something great about your city.
Okay, I'm from the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Grew up here all my life, and even experienced. Actually saw segregation a little bit as a little girl. So
Mhm.
it's a wonderful city. We see all the glitz and colors and glows, but Las Vegas has a lot to offer. Many opportunities. I encourage people to consider even moving here and express your talents. But the one thing I love to tell people is that Las Vegas is not just the Las Vegas Strip. You got to get off the Strip a little bit. Go to Red Rock. Go to the historic West Side where I grew up.
Yes.
Go to Mount Charleston where you could actually see snow in the desert. You can see snow in
Yes,
the
you
wintertime.
can.
So yeah, Las Vegas is a fabulous place with fabulous, talented people.
Look, and nobody can represent the city like Kimberly Bailey Tureaud. You hear me? She gave you all places, not only on the strip, but she like going on up to the mountain. And
Yeah.
you're right. We go up there and we're cold, right?
Yeah, we're cold. There's actually snow and mountains and climbing and hiking, and it's so much
Yes.
to explore in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Yes, indeed. So, speaking about Las Vegas, like you said, you are a native. You were born and raised here. I want to know what was it like growing up in the city of Las Vegas and being the daughter of such influential parents? Tell us about growing up and tell us about your parents.
Yeah, I tell people this all the time. I had a wonderful childhood growing up here in Las Vegas. My parents, Bob Bailey, William H. Bob Bailey, my mother, Anna Bailey, they arrived here in 1955 for the opening of the Moulin Rouge Hotel and Casino. That was the first integrated hotel and casino in the whole country. So
Wow.
my mother's from Brooklyn, New York, and Bed-Stuy, and my father's from Cleveland, Ohio. So I wasn't born in 55.
Right, right.
But they came to Las Vegas to open up the Moulin Rouge. So my mother was one of the lead dancers. She is one of the original dancers from the Apollo Theater in New York. She
Oh, my
is
goodness.
Yeah, so she was also the first African American dancer on the Las Vegas Strip because the Moulin Rouge closed in just 6 months. So then, she went to the dunes on the Las Vegas Strip. But there's a
Wow.
lot, that's a whole nother story why it closed because it was so fabulous. It was Everyone came from far and wide to come to the Moulin Rouge. I mean, and all nationalities gathered there because, like I said, it was the first integrated hotel in the whole country. And so my father, after it closed in just 6 months, because what was happening, and don't tell nobody, but
Okay.
what was happening is that it was pulling people and tours off the Las Vegas Strip. So now we get into some politics.
Yeah.
So the hotel, so it was really, really a lot going on, and the house was packed. And my mother, she'll be 100 in August, but she
Goodness.
states that they were waiting in the wings, but they put the padlocks on the doors, made everyone leave, and the show that was it in just 6 months.
Oh, my
Shortly
goodness.
that. My parents had me and my brother John, and we grew up here in fabulous Las Vegas, and it was wonderful because my father was a singer with Count Basie, and my mother comes from the dancing world in New York. So people that couldn't, because people like Sammy Davis and George Kirby, Red Fox, they could perform on the strip, but they couldn't stay in the hotel. So a lot of them would come and stay at our house. So I grew up with coming out and seeing Sammy laying on the couch and Lola Falana sitting at his feet on the floor. I couldn't understand why she was sitting on the floor. But anyway, I mean, those kind of images. But it was a party house. It was just love. And at the time, because a lot was segregated, the community really came together, and my dad would barbecue, and everyone used to be at our house. So it was a party house. It was just really a wonderful, wonderful experience. You know how you have these play haunts and different people that just pour in.
Yes.
And I was so fortunate enough to had that, like Dottie West, Buck West, Charles West was our first Black doctor in the state of Nevada. But they were my godparents, and so they just really just poured into me, and just so many other people that did so much for our valley and for our community.
Absolutely. Such a rich history, you know? Who else can say, yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. slept on my couch, you know?
And I went to Spelman College, so when I was at Spelman, I think they knew some of the history, a lot of the administrators. And I said, okay, and Sammy was alive at that time. And I asked if he would come and speak to the student body in Sisters Chapel. And he said yes. So he came.
Oh, my goodness.
And I believe, and it was so amazing because at the time, because my father, he went to Morehouse. And when he was at Morehouse, Dr. Mays was the president of Morehouse College. And Dr. Mays was Benjamin Mays, and he was alive. He was, elderly, but he was alive. And I remember going up to him and I said, I'm Bob Bailey's daughter, and he said, oh, William, I love William, so that was just because he was such an icon,
Oh my goodness. Yes. Kimberly, that is so beautiful. You couldn't help but go into entertainment. You had these fabulous parents. Like, I never would have known that your dad was with Count Basie. That's huge. That your mom danced, at Apollo and at the Dunes and, Moulin Rouge. Huge. And your mom is still beautiful today.
You know
she
what?
is.
Story about Count Basie, since you brought that back up. Dad was seen in the Glee Club at Morehouse with Dr. And so Count Basie came to Morehouse to recruit an alto singer. And I know, Kimberly, you sing, so I wanted to listen. I love your voice. So so anyway, he recruited Dad out of all of the singers in the Glee Club, and so that's kind of how he started with Count Basie.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing. Amazing. I'm blown away. I'm like, we're having a conversation in front of the world right now. I'm learning so much and I'm eating it up. It's good to me, Yes. So what are some of the lessons that your parents taught you that still stick with you today? What's one of those lessons you like, that one lasted a lifetime?
Yeah, I think what my father always would say until he died in 2014, he said, who said it was going to be easy? And wow, because I was, oh, Daddy, this happened, this happened. And he said, who said it was going to be easy? And it was just that gumption to keep moving forward, to keep going, no matter what. Don't stop. If you have something to do, something to say it. And sometimes I say a little bit too much, but my dad was he really was my hero, my dad. And I really did a lot of things, followed in his footsteps. Such an intelligent, wise man, and fed back into the Black community. He always said that we have to do that. That's why I came home to Las Vegas. And so he believed in that, and he believed in W.E.B. Du Bois, the talented tent. And it could be 10 of us, but we can really make a difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that saying, who said it would be easy, because
Who's
it's not. But when you're doing what you love, you continue to push forward, so that's such a positive, aspiration to keep us going, a positive word to keep us going, like you said. So I want to go back to Spelman, right? Because you
yeah,
grew up a Las Vegas city girl, right? And then
yeah,
all of a sudden you're in the country,
I
in
know.
Atlanta. And Kimberly, we have so many things alike, both of our last names being Bailey,
Yeah,
so I'm like my sister for real.
my
But
sister.
yes, I
Yeah.
attended Clark Atlanta for a while. So I
Oh,
was in Atlanta as well.
okay. I didn't know
Yes.
that. My
Yes,
best friend went to
indeed.
Clark. Yeah.
Really?
And I was in the communications department, Stan Washington with
Yeah.
WCLK. And so, yeah, Dr. Eichelberger was in the communication, so I was really entrenched
Yes.
in a lot that was going on at Clark, because you could take classes at the AU Center at Spelman Morehouse and Clark.
And Clark, nice.
Yeah.
How did that adjustment go for you? I know at the time I was in Washington State. So I left Washington State and went to Atlanta to school. And so
Mhm.
for me, it was almost a culture shock,
Oh,
because I was in a melting pot in Washington,
yeah.
military town, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm. So
I know.
how was that adjustment for you?
It was hard. I mean, I really didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah,
My
me
dad
either.
said, if I'm gonna pay for college, you got to go to Spelman. So
Yes.
that was it. But my brother was older than me, so I remember he went down first to attend Morehouse. He didn't stay long. He couldn't
Hmm.
like it. But when I went down there, and I was a party person. If anybody knows
Uh-huh.
locally, all the parties would take place at my house. So I remember going, and they were having this big party in the yard, with the music, and Jamaica funk was ringing throughout the
Oh,
creek.
wow.
And I said, Daddy, and I was 16. I said, I'd love to come here. And I had never seen such a rainbow of African American people. And we
Yes.
were all just, happy and dancing. And it was just really, and that's what happened. And so when it came time to actually graduate, when I went to Western High School here in Las Vegas, uh,
Mhm.
I got accepted and I was ready to go. But I have to tell you, it was an adjustment, because most of the girls did come from the East Coast, and then you had your
Mhm.
clubs. You had the Philly club, you had the Chicago club, you had the DC club. So you have, and so I was trying to get with the LA club. Didn't do that well with the LA club, but I, I really gravitated more with the New York club, and maybe because of my mother. But I had a lot in common with the East Coast, and then it's a consciousness that I think I had a link with a lot of the people from the East Coast. So it was just really wonderful. Like I just, Abbey Hall was my freshman dorm. I lived in the basement. And I remember coming there, and it was hot and humid. So I was just wearing my little
Yes.
shorts, looking like Vegas, and everybody was wearing, they had the little alligator, and everybody was more conservative and in
Mhm.
their dress, but I wore my shorts and those kind of things. So I knew that, we had to get my wardrobe together. Uh,
Yes.
but and it was just, I tell anybody, it was the most fabulous experience of my life to go to Spelman. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of the people that attend the HBCU would say the same thing. It's something that hits your soul. Those relationships
Yes.
still last to this day, going back to homecoming, going back to, so that's it was just a wonderful experience. The instructors, Pearl Cleage was my creative writing teacher. And we were exposed because, as a freshman, you had to go to chapel 3 times a day. So we would
Mhm.
go, but you would hear Winnie Mandela speak directly to you. Maya
Oh
Angelou
my
would be
goodness.
there, Nikki Giovanni. And my major was English in journalism. So they poured into you,
Yes.
and then you had the dorm mothers, because at that time it was curfew. You had to be in the dorm by a certain time, and they would come knocking
Yep.
at the door. All the girls had to be off campus. So it was fabulous. The sororities, the fraternities. I was really exposed to all of that. People being online. My roommates were Q Pearls. So that in a nutshell, that's what it was.
That's right. That's right. You
But
know,
it,
I was like your brother, so I didn't last the whole time, but the friends that I made there, we're in a text group today, okay?
okay,
We're
that's what
still
I'm saying.
talking. One
Yes,
is from New York, one is from Detroit, and
yeah,
we stay in contact. Those are memories that you never
never.
forget. And they're like, "Kim, after you left, it was never the same." I'm like,
Oh,
"I know. It was so much fun." But it was. I can relate for sure. There was so much culture there, and like you said, just a rainbow of
mhm.
African American Black students,
Yes, yes.
and being able to see the creativity and there's nothing like it, and I really enjoyed it. I left due to financial situations, or I would have finished there. I
Oh,
finished in Washington, but
you
um,
finished.
yes, yes, finally, but
Yeah.
yes, I did. So awesome. I love that. So you spoke about journalism, that you did journalism, but I also believe you may have worked in film some as well because you worked with a major film director, right? So
Yes, like, yeah.
yes.
Well, Spike actually is older than me. So, but he came,
Mhm.
when he did his first film, Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop. He came back to campus because he was looking, and George Folks at the time, he was a part of the Clark film and media that I was taking
Mhm.
classes. And so me and my best friend that went to Clark, we were both approached to, he wanted to introduce us because nobody really knew Spike at that time. And
Right.
and so I said, okay. So we went to a meeting and we met him, and he needed a team of people to help him promote Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop because he was going to have a special screening at Fox. It was a
Mhm.
Fox theater in Atlanta. And so he wanted us to get together, and we met every night. And he was, he didn't have that, money, but he would use credit cards, and he was trying
Yes.
doing all of that. And we would go around and hang posters, like stand on each other's back. And I remember Spike would he would always walk me back to campus after we would be out working. We would just talk, and we'd debate because he could debate and I debate. We were
Wow.
amateurs, so he's going and we're going. And he said, "You're so crazy." And so we just really we built a wonderful relationship. And so professionally, where you get paid, because I didn't get paid then, but
Mhm.
but professionally, after I graduated from Spelman, I went to LA, and I worked first in game shows with Mark Goodson Productions. I was the
Yes.
first Black they hired, so the Family Feud and Price is Right, and so I was working there. And but shortly after that, because I got involved with the Black Journalists Association, Black PR Society, and it was one fabulous Black woman that everybody knew named Pat Tobin, and she
Mm.
passed on now, but she was a just a fabulous woman. She was like my mom living in LA because I didn't know anybody in LA.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't have a job, and I've just got in shape, and I started teaching aerobics because as Spelman I used to teach aerobics in the basement.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyway, so I did that to make money, got my little place. But anyway, moving forward, I started working for Pat Tobin. She said, "Kim, you got to come and join my firm." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So
Mhm.
I left the game shows and started working with Pat Tobin. And so Pat was so this time Spike is like he did. She's got to have, he was on a roll.
Yes.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Spike." I worked with Spike, in school. And so
Yes.
you know him? I said, "Yeah, I know." So anyway, I talked to him, and I told him that it'd be great if he became a client, of
Right.
the firm. So he became a client, and I remember that he was looking for distribution for She's Gotta Have It at the time. And so
Mm.
I said, "Well, why don't we go to the Black Caucus convention?" And we had a little booth, and I said, "We're going to pitch to all those groups and organizations to bring a premiere to their city." And so
Wow.
at the Black, so that's kind of, so we were still doing what we could. God had to be creative and innovative.
Yes.
And that's what happened. And so Spike became a client of Tobin and Associates. And I was, he was one of my accounts that I worked with along with Pat. And so it was really, really, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone, but it was really, really wonderful. And so it was just a wonderful experience working. I met Ruth Carter because Ruth was working with Spike, because Ruth is getting all Academy Awards now for all she did Black Panther. So I remember
Yes.
Ruth, and just so many people now that are still in the industry that are just excelling. So a lot of people came out of that camp, that Spike.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is so major, and I want to talk to you about, like you said, leaving Atlanta,
Right.
going to LA,
Mhm.
you were making big leaps after high school. You get what I'm saying? So you went from Las Vegas to
Mhm.
Atlanta, from Atlanta to LA. And so
Yeah.
last week I talked a bit about fear, right? And I talked about analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think too long about things and they stay put in a situation. Kim,
Mhm.
what makes you be able to get up and just go? Like
Yeah.
you got to go.
Yeah. Well, I trust me. I'm just like everybody else. I have my
Mm,
insecurities. I have fears. I definitely being out there by myself. But
yes.
I would get out and just explore. I remember I was walking down Venice Beach, and all these black folks was playing volleyball. And I just thought that was so
Yes.
fabulous. And they came over to me and they said, "You want to?" I said, "Yeah," because I had no friends. And
Right.
I said, "Yeah, I would love to play." So I started playing every other Sunday, barbecuing on the beach, and to this day they became some of my best friends.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think it's just something that my parents, it's because they would, every other weekend growing up, my dad had a motorhome, and we had to have family getaway in the motorhome every other weekend. No
Mm,
matter what we were doing, we didn't. It was just family, and we
right.
would go camping. But I think just my parents' tenacity of just exploring this, because my parents never had a job in Las Vegas. Dad was an entrepreneur. So he would
Yes.
write contracts and he would do what he had to do. He had a TV show, the Bob Bailey show. He just did things. So I think watching that instilled in me something that to get out of the bubble and explore and do what you think you might not never do, but do it anyway. So
Yes.
I did those kind of things, and I did movie premieres like for Richard Pryor, for JoJo Dancer. I did his
Oh
whole
my
movie.
goodness.
I did the first Soul Train Music Awards with Don Cornelius. So as you're in the mix with people and they
Yes.
talk to you and you build those, and they're not insecure and intimidated
Hmm.
by a confidence that you exude. But it hasn't been easy. It gets lonely sometimes. I don't have a lot of friends, even to this
Yeah.
day. Um, but it's okay because I've been experiencing this forever. So it's like I get
Yes.
it. And Preston Taylor says, not everybody deserves a front row seat in your life. So I do
That's
that.
right.
I have a wonderful family, a wonderful husband, very supportive. And
Yeah.
but it is a fear, and I talk about this a lot. It's fears, and now we're dealing with different things. There's
Yes.
technologies, and it's a lot of things that you say, "Oh wow, I don't know that. How would I do? What can I fail?" But failing is an experience. It's really an opportunity. So if you
Yes.
fail, then it's such an opportunity to do something different.
Yes. And the motto at Clark Atlanta was I'll find a way or make one.
Yeah,
Yes, I'll find a way or make one. And I love that you said to get out of the bubble because sometimes we're so afraid to get outside of what's familiar that
yeah,
we never get to really experience life. We
yeah,
never really get to see the world.
yeah,
This is a big place that we're in. And
yeah.
some people just stay right in their city,
They-
right in their square, their community. And
yeah,
life is beautiful. We have some challenges and things, of course, but
yeah,
there are some beautiful things along the journey. I
yeah.
want to talk about networking a bit, okay? Because you seem to be the networker of networkers, okay? So,
So you got to
uh-huh,
twist. It's all about what group you put me in. Mhm.
okay, okay. So I want to ask you, it's an important an important tool that we all need, whether it's in entertainment or any other field, you know. So there are mixers and things that are held, but sometimes people feel awkward. They don't know what to necessarily do. What tips can you give to let someone know that it's okay? You know, this is what you need to do when you get in this type of environment.
I get it. I could just be totally honest with you. My thing is that those mixers and those networking events are great, but you have to be very, you have to specify what
Mhm.
your interest is, because if you just network in a party of one, with that one person that you find out, oh, this is where they go or this is what they do. But if I go, I could possibly meet that one person, because all you need is one. um,
Mm.
we have to differentiate between the social aspect of just
Yes.
having a good time, meeting somebody you might want to go out on a date with, versus a real climb of something that's going to propel you to the
Yes.
goal that you have or your dream. And I think that I joined those certain groups that I mentioned earlier when I moved to LA, to be around the people that I thought I would enjoy that their company. I could learn more from the people that are doing it at their best. Uh,
Yes.
I met Ramon Hervé, who was married to Vanessa Williams. For me, he was a guru in public relations.
Wow.
That's how I got on with the Soul Train Music Awards. But I'm saying, so when you meet certain people, it's crucial to just kind of do your research. Know, oh yeah, that person, even if they have nothing to give you physically, their
Yes.
wisdom is worth gold, as you're trying to
Mhm.
go through your journeys. It's different. I find that it's very different now, our environment, if we're especially in around as it propels around the entertainment industry, than it was back in, let's say, the 90s, when I was
Yes.
in the 80s, the late 80s, when I was doing it. Because at that time, I think people were really okay, and it was a consciousness of, this is a young lady that, she went to Spelman, she did, so let me try to share it, let me be. But it's fine. It's hard now to find those people that just say, okay, I'm gonna reach back, so to speak. They're out
Right.
there, but it's hard. But I get surprised. Like, I was trying to get an interview with Viola Davis for Black
Mhm.
magazine, and I did everything. I mean, I just, and I went to my Facebook page, and I mean, she had a publicist that was a white publicist. So,
Mhm.
she was, oh no, the Viola could never do, that's too small of a market for Viola. And so I went on my Facebook page, and I just said, and I put her name in, and she popped up. And then I
Wow.
message, and I said, this is my experience with your publicist that's representing you. And she said, give me your number. And I
Oh
took
my goodness.
really, I was kind of venting, because
Yes.
I was pretty upset about it. But she called me, and it was her. And she gave me that interview, and I put her on the cover of Black Image. So I'm just saying, so that consciousness, though, this sister's trying to do something. She's the only
Yes.
publication in Las Vegas. I'm going to, she's asking just an interview,
Yes.
so every now and then you could be surprised. But I would hope that we would all be a little bit more conscious and look at our ancestors and different people that came before us, how they really did try to propel to, pour into us and propel us and reach back and pull us up. Because I don't know if that,
Absolutely.
because now I think people are just feeling more of a threat. If I help
Mhm.
her, I'll take something from me.
Right.
And
Yes.
too, men are, they feel like you're gonna just, so you're battling that. But I think whatever your gift is that God gave you is yours.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a comment here from Quila Davis, one of my friends. She said, "Look at God, won't He do it?" She said, "Just reach out. You never know." She's speaking of Viola. She did it, and that is so important. Like you said, reaching back. And Kim, that was something that I talked about in your intro, and how you even helped, all these new business owners and such. You could have kept all that information that you have to yourself, but
Yeah,
that is not your spirit or your heart. And so that's what's important too, because we may, on our way up, meet so many people, and everyone is not kind. You
no,
know, but
no.
we do remember the kind ones, we remember them, and we're gracious to them and grateful for them. And you are one of the kind ones. So I want to say thank you, for being a blessing to the city of Las Vegas. This is your home. I've been here a long time
Yeah,
now. So, it's my home too. But
girl.
I'm so yes, I'm
Yes.
so grateful that we have the Kimberly Baileys, here in Las Vegas, and those that you have helped to represent us,
Mhm.
because it's a community that helps our future.
Yeah. And
If
we
we
have,
don't reach back, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? We're not going to always be
No,
here.
we're not. I
So
have
what's next?
up. Yeah. I'm like, oh.
Yes, it's like, what's next? What are we leaving behind? What's
Mhm.
the legacy that we're leaving behind? What are the words that we're leaving behind to those who are coming up
Yeah.
behind us? And like you said, our ancestors who have gone before us, they were so,
Yeah.
strong in community. And I
Yeah.
hope that we can bring that back. I
I
hope
hope
we can bring
so.
that full circle.
But if our history, we need to be conscious of that. Our history, unfortunately, has done a job on African Americans, and it just really has, from
Yes.
the one brother, one sister only working in the big house, and then people working in the fields, and so that I think that's where it comes from, and but we have to be honest and identify our history, what it is, so that
Yes.
to be honest and to move forward so that we
Mhm.
because if we have to, because it's gonna it's not an easy world. It's gonna
Right.
be very, and for our children, it's and to just assimilate into a system thinking that is going to get you to your highest point. If everybody is just getting to their highest point for economics to get a bigger paycheck, and
Mhm.
we're not looking at the morality of the rise up, the morality of what we're feeding back into the community, the
Yes.
critical thinking, the those kind of awakening awareness and consciousness, and awakening intelligence. What is
Yes.
intelligence? So that you can weigh the good, the bad. Okay, this way, get rid of all of the insecurity that's keeping you from even giving back. Uh,
Yes.
we have to be honest about those things, because it worries me. I see more and more of it. Saw more of a togetherness when I was growing up in Las Vegas, because we had
Mhm.
to be together. We had
Yes.
nobody else.
They like y'all on the west side.
Everybody had to live on the west side. We
Yes.
didn't have fair housing. We didn't have employment. We had to work in certain jobs. It was just like that. But um, now that things are opening up, and that one sister only or that one brother only gets that job, they
Yeah.
are, yeah, you can't touch me, and I'm the big guy. I'm the leader. I think
Right.
everybody is a leader. It's just amazing. And if our politicians will just get out of their own heads and stop thinking that we serve them versus they serving us,
Yes.
it's something that we need to remind them about. The Taste and
Absolutely.
Sounds of Soul was taken out off of Fremont Street Experience, and all those black businesses during Black History Month were making nothing less than 60,000 in a day, and this
Oh
was
my
only
goodness.
so but we're cannibalizing uh, the operations of downtown Las Vegas. It's ridiculous, but
Wow.
we were the ones that helped build that area. So,
Absolutely.
but the activism is not there. So we don't have the activism. We don't have, so everyone has to fall into, but we're supposed to celebrate what they're doing, celebrate what but what's really coming into our door? What's the opportunities coming in for our children? What's the opportunities? And I don't understand how politicians can't do both.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't have to do the simulation, but they can't because they have to make everybody feel inclusive. Everybody is inclusive because, green is not ethnicity. I can't even say
no, it is not.
I'm just saying that. So it that boggles my mind.
Wow. Yes, indeed. And like I was saying, you have been such a huge part of Las Vegas. And, that festival was huge. I believe that it was a big draw, that you brought so many people. You brought so much talent. I was able to sing on that stage along with Maddie Pennington. It was so much fun. And, I hope, Kimberly, that they can bring something back, not something back, to bring you back downtown.
Because it just really it really demonstrated the worst of discrimination. But the bottom line is that it was even people that look like you and me that discriminated against it because it wasn't them doing it. It had to be they had to be the ones, but they couldn't do it. If they could have done it, they would have done it.
Exactly.
So to fight all of those battles, to fight, it's just into this day, the dialogue and people are trying to do little things like you see something on D Street or Jackson. I was the one that just started that, and which is fine. But the reason why I say that we should be allowed to go wherever we want to go in 2026, we're told go to North Las Vegas, go to the West Side, bring your people. That's how they would talk to us, your people. And then I would have to go off when they would say that. So anyway,
you're like, what that mean?
Yeah, just crazy. And but it's real. It's real. So yes, we went through in Las Vegas the discrimination, all these things, but it's still here. And don't ever get it twisted. And the only time, and Dr. King's last fight was on economics. He was going right ahead with the poor people protest, everything. Yeah. Was on economics. So as soon as we get into that pool, that's when you're going to have the problems. As long as you're doing your social and your party and it's not on their side of town. So we're still where's the progression?
Well, sounds like it hasn't been much. We see little gems here and there, but what you just said reminds me exactly of what you said that your parents faced, at the Moulin Rouge. Once it started booming, once it started making money, come on, we have some of the best singers and performers and dancers and all of these things. So of course they're going to go to the West Side.
Exactly. And Frank Sinatra's that went to the West Side. Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack. It wasn't black. It was white folks, and that's when they really got nervous because people wanted to experience the Moulin Rouge and all that wonderful, no matter what color they were.
Yes. And that's what it's about in the end, because great art is great art across the board. I can listen to any type of music and get something out of it if it's a great artist, if it's a great song, And so if we could only learn to just admire each other, to respect each other, and don't think that, when someone gets a little more than you, that you can't get yours. This earth is big.
It's big.
It's huge.
It's not measured always in money.
I
started a garden in my backyard and it fulfills me,
Come on.
And that keeps me grounded. What do you say? 10 toes down?
10 toes down.
and I love that. I still have to get here in the office and work and make things happen as best as we can. But we always have to think, because there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always, what's great is that it's your choice if you want to go head up with that obstacle or do something different and get innovative, get creative, because we're the birth children of that. We're the birth children of innovation, creativity. All of that is in our DNA. So no matter
Absolutely.
what we face, that's why I said they just worry. They don't know what I'm gonna pull out my pocket. They don't
That's
wanna-
right. They're like, oh, that Kimberly Bailey, what's next?
I know. And people come up to me, what you doing now? What you doing now?
You
I'm
like,
like,
don't
wow,
worry about it. I got
I
something coming
know,
and it's
I
gonna be good.
know. So
It's gonna be good.
yeah, but I'm just saying all that to say is that if anybody is faced with those kind of things, their light shining like Kimberly, like you do with your light,
Thank
don't
you.
just let that light shine. Just if it's just you, me, and myself,
Yes. Okay.
you should be okay. You're gonna be because you're God's child,
That's right.
and nobody, and if it does, it might be something that God just wants you to do for a little bit, and it's okay. It's okay.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
is okay. I have my mother that tapped in, Evangelist Herdy Randolph.
Hi, Miss Randolph. How are you?
Yes, she
I
said,
her glasses.
oh,
She ain't
thank
playing.
yes.
I love
She
glasses.
said, fear of the unknown creates failure. Kimberly, we're so much alike. I love glasses
I
too.
know.
I have a whole stack over there. Okay.
I know. I know.
Yes, indeed. Fear of the unknown creates failure. That is true. If we never step out, and it goes back to that bubble that we talked about, if we
Yeah.
never get out of the bubble, if we never get out of our own way,
Yeah.
because sometimes we're holding ourselves back. If we
Wow.
never move past that, then
Yeah.
we will fail in
Yeah.
what God has called us to do.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in the end, he's going to say, why didn't you do it? Oh,
Yeah.
because I was afraid.
Yeah.
Well, I already told you, fear not, for I am with thee. You get what I'm saying?
Woo!
Like he always has an answer,
All right,
you
Kimberly.
know?
That's where we go to church.
Okay. Look, yes, we will.
That's what it is. And
Yes,
that's
indeed.
a motivator. God,
Yes.
that's a motivator. And it is a wonderful life. It's a wonderful journey. I've had so many different journeys. I mean, I'm not
Yes.
that old, but I've had all these journeys. And when I think back working with Barry White, or when I think back, with Angela Bassett, and I think back working just as communications director for the Urban League in Los Angeles,
Yes.
the Baldwin Hill Plaza built and revitalized. I think back of all these journeys. I think that's why when certain things happen, I just say okay, but and this is just something else, and I just have to
Yes.
get over it and go and go to the mountains and enjoy the snow.
There you go.
I
Right
mean,
up to Mount Charleston.
yeah. So that's my life now. Yeah.
Yes. I want to do a rapid fire with you. I think this is going to be fun. This
Okay.
time is moving. I am
I
enjoying it. I
know. 'Cause
told
I know
you.
I can talk, Kimberly. So we talk.
Look, it's been good to me, and I'm sure that our viewers and listeners are enjoying it as well. Like I said, such a rich history, and you do have something to say. It's something when someone talks and they have nothing to say. It's like, okay, that's enough. But when you're talking, I'm like, I'm trying to eat the nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like I said, I'm aspiring to be like you. You have done so much, and just your creativity and just your heart, you
Yeah.
know, just the heart that you have for what you do. That
Thank
makes a huge difference.
you, Kimberly.
So absolutely. So here we go, rapid fire. Oh, we have a question for you. My mom said, ask Kimberly, has she written a book about her life?
Mm. Well, let me tell you, I am in the process of writing a book because I
Great.
found out some things about my life that really some people know, but I found out later in my life. And
Okay.
those realizations are something I wanted to talk about, but also inclusive of my whole journey.
Mm,
So it's so I am. I'm writing, and like I said, you're only a writer when you're writing. So I
yes.
also claim that I'm writing because I'm balancing, writing, doing Black Image magazine. Here's the next.
That's right. Put it up, Kimberly.
I'm balancing that and trying to finish and I'm writing a movie as well. So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
so I sit here in this little office of mine, and it gets real quiet, but
Yes.
I take my time and looking at my daddy's picture. This is my dad, and he stays on my computer.
Oh,
He just, what
yes.
you doing? What you doing? So anyway, he's still there with me, and
Yes.
so yes, to answer your question, I am, and I'm going to complete both of those things: my movie and my book.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And whenever you want to collab, I'm putting it out here already. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're ready to collab, here I am. Okay.
You're a creative creature too, so I
Yes.
know I'll be in good company. Yes,
Yes, indeed. We will have a ball. All
yes.
righty. Here we go, Kimberly. Your first celebrity encounter that made you say, wow.
Mm. I think it was when I met Lucille Ball.
Oh my goodness. You met Lucy?
I freaked out. I met a lot of celebrities in my life. And
Yes.
I know people say Lucille Ball, but I grew up, we were watching Lucy, and she was at Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday party. And so
Mhm.
we were there, and she was sitting right next to the table. We were sitting, I was fairly, I was young.
Yes.
I think I just, and I say that, and Michael Jackson when he came to with the
Oh my
Jackson Five
goodness.
MGM, and they were singing "Dancing Machine" at the end, and
Doo, doo.
my dad was friends with Bill Bray, his road manager, and they sat me right on the edge of and Michael pulled me up to Dancing Machine, and I just knew I was going to marry him. I knew when the time
Yes.
he was going to say, "We got to be together." So I think those,
Yes.
yeah, those were, I know you said one, but those were two.
No, those are two great ones. Look, I love Lucy. Look, no pun intended, right? I love Lucy. And Michael, look, I don't know if you know, but originally I'm from Indiana, from Gary. That's where I was born.
Okay. So
So I
did you?
never got to meet Michael. So
Oh,
yes, you are so blessed. But I have met some of his other brothers since I've
yeah,
been here in Vegas, actually.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to meet
I
Michael?
know.
He
And
was
then
about to
later
be your
on,
man, girl.
yeah, and I was a talented teen in the Talented Teens, and he was a judge.
Hal Jackson's
Yeah,
talented teen.
I was Miss Nevada,
Oh my gosh.
and
Kim, you are blowing me away.
it was in Talented Teens, and her cousin was Miss Marilyn. But yeah, that was a big being in the Hal Jackson Talented Teens. That's when I met him again.
Oh my goodness. So my aunt, just to go
Yeah.
quickly into a story, she used to work with talented teens as well. Joyce
Oh,
Bailey. Yes. And
oh, I
so
think. Well, she probably was in '86.
probably, yeah, because I
Yeah,
was young. She
yeah,
was
I was
a
16.
little bit older at that time.
Okay. I
Yeah.
Well, not '86 though. It might have been in '76. It was probably '76. Because
Okay. She was probably would have been around 86.
but I
Yeah.
remember the name. I have the booklet, so I got to look it up. I still have my
Yes.
book, that
Oh,
shows you.
sweet.
And Jermaine
Yep.
Jackson was the host, and it was at the Roosevelt Hotel. That was the big pageant.
Oh my
And Barry
goodness.
White was there too, and then later on, I became very good friends with Barry. Mhm.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
blowing me away. I just want you to know that. Tell me one interview that changed your life.
Wow. I think it's a toss up. It's a toss up, and I'm going to make this quick because I know you're. Sidney Poitier
Mm,
was on the cover of Black Image. Shaka Khan and
wow.
Mary J. Blige. I think those three were probably my best interviews.
Yes, indeed. I want you all to know that you are listening to Mrs. Kimberly Bailey Tureaud, okay? And she and her husband, Charles Tureaud, have Black Image Magazine, Las Vegas Black Image Magazine. So if you're in Vegas, make sure that you pick it up. And when you come visit Vegas, make sure that you stop somewhere and pick it up. It is a free publication with
All Albertsons, and also you could go to the website lasvegasblackimage.com and you could see it. And I also have a podcast, Enterprising People 702 on YouTube.
bring it all, okay?
If you can.
Yes, that's right. And I want them to go subscribe. We support one another. So
I
absolutely.
gotta have you on my show too now.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I am excited. Yes, indeed. So Charlene Carla is in Florida. She said, I'm an editor if you need one.
Yeah, we
Okay.
always do that because I told you I get real creative. I need I need
Yes,
to say, girl, do that right. Don't do that.
that's right. That's
a
right.
wonderful I have a wonderful editor, but it's always good to have because I'm writing a book and I'm doing a movie too.
Yes, yes. My mom agreed with you. She said that she loves writing, which she does.
Oh,
Papers, she's writing. She's always
yeah,
doing something. Songs and poetry she's done
yes,
since she was very young. As a
yeah,
matter of fact, during Black History Month, I believe it was during Black History Month, I shared a letter that she got back from Coretta Scott King. She had written a poem for Martin Luther King, and it was after he was assassinated, and
oh,
Coretta sent a letter back to her thanking her
oh,
for the poem. And so we still have that, or she still has that,
that's
but
so
what's hers is mine.
that's right. That's right. Get that right.
Yes,
Yeah. But
absolutely.
Mrs. King, she's one quick story. I remember when Bonnie was running for a student body president at Spelman, and
Hmm.
people were running against her, but her mother was alive then, and she was putting out posters and flyers. I was like, "Girl, you gonna win!"
Yes,
I was out here, but yeah, so
exactly.
that's what kind of woman she was.
That is beautiful. And it's about family, right? It
Yeah,
always goes back to family. We take our crowns and our hats off when it comes to family. It's like, we're all just human trying to
we
live
are.
this experience that we have.
Yes.
Yes, yes, indeed. Quila Davis said, wow, she has done a lot. It is very inspiring. Yes,
Oh,
she has.
thank
Yes,
you.
indeed. And our sister, Patty Pennington, she said, hey, Kims.
Oh, that's my sis.
Hey.
Oh, you and Patty, I swear I'm waiting for that gold album because
Okay.
you guys got those voices. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Yes, Patty Pennington.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. Let me see. One lesson you've learned from being around. No, no, no. That's not the one I want to ask you. I want to ask you who's still on your dream interview list?
Who is still on my dream interview list? Hmm. I.
Kim's like, I've done it. Been
No,
there.
no,
No, I'm messing with
I'm
you.
trying to remember, girls, hormones. Okay, so I gotta remember.
I
But
get it.
it's so many people that I wanted to interview Toni Morrison, but she passed on. That was one of my
Mm,
dreams.
yes.
Poet Sonia Sanchez.
Mm,
Sonia Sanchez. She would definitely is at the top of my list.
nice. And it's gonna happen. All you gotta do is reach out, Kim.
She's
It's
like
gonna
love,
happen.
love, 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 love.
Love, love,
Yeah,
love.
love. She does a poem where she just keeps saying love. Sonia Sanchez. So if you look her up, she's fabulous.
I love that. Speaking of love,
Uh-huh.
okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So let me see, how can I do this? Your parents were entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
and I'm sure that you watched them, like you said, and maybe even helped them in business. Now you and your husband own culturally diverse advertising
Hmm.
with Media Relations and Events LLC. Of course, we also mentioned Las Vegas Black Image Magazine. Also, you're the masterminds behind the Taste of Sounds and Soul, the
Hmm.
Las Vegas Culture Fest, the Soul Food Farmers Market, and the Big Money Business Development Conference. So,
Yeah.
love and money. For
Yeah.
those who may be asking, what's the secret formula on becoming a successful power couple and staying in love, Kim? How you do
Oh
it?
Lord.
She said, "Oh Lord." Right, right.
No, you know what? My definition of love has definitely changed from when
Mhm.
I was younger.
Yes.
Um, and that I don't know if it just comes with maturity, those kind of things. Being in love and truly loving someone, yeah,
Yes.
two totally different things. But I found a partner. I found someone that no matter what, he's right there.
Yes.
We definitely have had our challenges. We're if somebody to tell you they don't, they lying. Uh, so
Say it
we
again.
we definitely have had our challenges. But my parents stayed married almost 67 years, uh,
Wow.
and they had their challenges.
Hmm.
But I believe in the institution of marriage, black love, and I think that no matter what, it's sustainability, because you're going to get old no matter what. Now you can choose
Absolutely.
to be older alone, or you can
Hmm.
choose to be older by yourself. I mean, with somebody that you want to be with.
Right.
What makes you happy, and this your. I remember Marilyn McCoo. I don't know if you all remember Marilyn, but with Billy Dave, The Fifth Dimension. But she told me, she said, you have to just like your partner.
Yes.
And I like him. We went to Ireland, we travel, we experience, I could go crazy off and
Uh-huh.
he's still there, 'Cause, and
Yes.
we had, and because I'm a very sensitive person, I'm emotional, I'm all those things. But if I wasn't those things, I don't think I could have done the other things. And so don't allow anybody to say, oh, you're too sensitive, you're too
Mm.
emotional, you can't be in business. Business is personal. Don't ever get it.
Yes, it is.
Business is personal, and that's your passion. So I've learned how to leverage things. I try to leverage better my feelings. I try to keep more to myself, because I am one, because I feel like we're all teachers, and I'm still a student. So
Yes.
I will tell somebody how I feel, if I'm forced to.
That's
Uh,
right.
but at the same time, I've learned to just give myself grace and give other people more grace.
That is so good. You
Yeah.
have dropped so many great nuggets tonight. I mean, yes, to the very end,
Yeah, I
from
tried.
beginning to end,
Thank you.
365 days of the year. You know the
Uh,
song.
yeah,
Yes.
there you go. We got it.
Same old love. Same old love. That's
Yeah.
right. Kim, I appreciate you for being here tonight. Before we close out, is there anything that you would like to add? Also, let everyone know again where they can follow you, how they can subscribe, uplift you. You have the floor.
Okay. I'm trying to get more subscribers. You know that, Kimberly, with Enterprising People 702. You can listen to my radio show. That's a business show, Enterprising People, the radio show on KCEP 88.1. Anyone can listen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at power88lb.com, to Enterprising People, the radio, and the podcast. You go there. It's some really interesting people I'm talking to. I'm really I'm interested in how money works, how we economically win and sustain, giving ourselves a quality of life that we want.
Yes.
So it's a really good show. So if you get a chance to listen to any of those shows, and Black Image Magazine, you could just go to LasVegasBlackImage.com, and you
Yes.
can see various issues. We've been doing it since 2008, and with our businesses and our events. I do Caravan for Mammogram. I want to get blacks for Black women. If you're in
Yes.
the state, it's free for you to get involved. Come to Vegas, and we have to, because Black women were dying 40% more than any other ethnic group. So we have to remind each other to go to the doctor, get your
Oh,
check. So you're not getting mammograms at the event. We're just decorating, doing some sisterhood, some fellowshipping, sister shipping, and we're
yes.
decorating our cars in pink and black, and we're going down the strip in a parade formation and have a wonderful lunch. And I'm just trying to, my goal is, Kimberly, maybe you can help me. I'm trying to get at least 300 Black women together this year, because
Yes.
our health is our wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you all hear it here. Make sure that you are following my sister, Kimberly Bailey Tureaud. Make sure that you get involved with all the things that she has going. If you want someone positive to follow, you are listening to her or watching her tonight. And again, even the mammogram van, 300 women they want to see this year, and that's in October.
It's
So
our
you have
first
time.
Saturday in October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But this is for us as Black women. And everybody's
Yes.
going, but we're dying first. So we have to be there. We have to remind each other, just go get your breast checked. At the event,
Oh,
we're just having a good time, and we're going to remind each other, and we're going to build and just share that love with each other. But after the event, we're going to build those, and hopefully you go to Steinberg or wherever you would like to go to just get a mammogram done.
yes, indeed. It only take a few minutes, right, to save a life. It
Yeah.
only takes a few minutes, of being uncomfortable, but lives can be saved if we would just
Catch it early,
go.
you can be saved. Catch it early.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Kimberly, I love you. Patty
I
Pennington is saying that she loves you.
I
I know
love
all the viewers love you.
you,
Thank you
Patty.
so much. Yes.
Okay. And thank you, Kimberly. And again, I just applaud you, congratulate you. It's such a professional platform. You're
Thank
doing your
you.
thing, and anything you need from me, you let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend, my sister, for being here. Please tell Charles hello and tell your mother I said hello. She is so beautiful with those dancing legs. Okay.
I know. And she's another guest at 100 years old. She got some stories.
Tell her she is welcome to come whenever she's ready. And I mean that 100%.
Okay, Kimberly.
Awesome. Charlene Carla is saying, great show. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Yes. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, I'm your girl, Kimberly Eichelle. Come back every Thursday, 7 p.m. live here for Talented Thursdays with Kimberly Eichelle. Tonight's guest, again, Miss Kimberly Bailey Tureaud. Oh, my goodness. Such a wonderful guest. Good night. You all have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Please support by subscribing to Talented Television on YouTube.